which is the Veteran Resource Center.
Absolutely, Jamila. I'm so excited, and you do a wonderful job every day. Jamila does a great job, everybody.
Thank you, thank you. So, since you established the VRC in November 2015, do you feel like your goals have specifically been met?
Not all of them. I didn't have a complete vision for what the VRC looked like when I opened it. Like, I knew that I wanted to house veterans in it. I knew I wanted to have a computer area. I knew I wanted to be able to help them through the application process and like eliminate all the issues that we saw having them have. For example, not getting certified on time because they didn't know to turn in their information, or turning in paperwork and it goes the wrong direction, and just different things. So they ended up in collections, lots of issues. So as far as that part of it, I think, yes, we've achieved that goal, but once we got in here and kind of could assess the need, I think certain things needed to happen. Like, for one, the office isn't big enough for everybody. So I would like to expand it, push the wall back, and add 3 offices, one for you, one for our veteran service officer, and one for our certifying official. So bring them out of financial aid and bring them over here, so it's all done. And the certifying official can do all their financial aid information too while they're here. So that means everything is done in one spot.
Exactly. And do you feel like there are limitations that's hindering us from getting the expansion done?
Yes. The VRC backs up to the student center, and I don't think there was a lot of positive reaction to us taking space from the student center to expand the Veterans Resource Center. My argument would be that I've gone in there for like 6 months and taken a picture a couple times a week just to see how many people are in there, and it's never full. So I do think that we have the space to grow into that area. At least, like, it's not asking for a lot of space. It's taking, I don't know, 3 small office spaces. So
in relation to the expansion of VRC, how long has this been going on?
Since 2016. It's been thrown out there, and then of course other people want to go big and take it all the way to the wall because they only do it once, and then some people want no expansion. Then they tried to put us in the kitchen, and then just a variety of things, but not ever exactly what we wanted. Like, it was either too much of what we wanted or too little of what we wanted, and then it just never moved forward.
So have you seen other schools that have been able to accommodate all the people who are affiliated with the VRC?
Yes, lots of schools are able to do this. The Citadel, for example, has a whole house that they use to accommodate their veterans, and they even have rooms upstairs for people to live in, like certain people can live in, like their first semester. And I mean, plenty of schools. Texas has quite a few schools that do this. North Carolina has a great program. And it's their community colleges that have this stuff. I mean, because that's where it's needed, really. Mm-hmm. You know, like, is on that level. Because once you get to your 4-year college, you're going to need your community college time just to be able to get to your 4-year college. So this is where you're going to have the most questions.
Exactly. There are a larger number of students applying to community colleges because it's open enrollment.
Right.
So it hinders a lot of them from attending a 4-year institution because some of them, they haven't been to school in a long time. So this is the lead way for progression.
Right. And I think that people get frustrated, and it's hard for them. But if we put everything in, the idea would be for it to be a holistic space. Like, you could walk in here and you could walk out of here at least ready to take your placement test, right? I mean, everything else done, you need your placement test, then you can register for classes. That's the idea. It's not bring you in here, we'll help you here, and then I'll send you across the street. Some guy came in yesterday on crutches. They told him to walk over here. I mean, like, it's just, at some point, it just makes sense.
And with the politics of everything, most student services cover all offices that cater to students, including a VRC.
Right.
And we're across the street from all the major offices. So that's where we feel in to teach them about financial aid and applying for the GI Bill, and
right,
taking the placement testing and everything.
And then if you sent everyone to one space, there would be one united message. So you're not getting certain answers from people that are working work studies that are working the front desk over in admissions. You wouldn't get different answers from somebody who works in financial aid who has yet to deal with out of state or in-state residency based on your marriage to a service member. You know, just all of these things could be handled well if they were put in one area, and then you had your one subject matter expert handling it.
Exactly, and you know firsthand because of you being in the military, prior military, with all your experience and everything, and then you have your oldest daughter in college now. So it's a lot, it's a very overwhelming information. I don't think a lot of people understand that before your institutions. So this helps out.
And they don't understand all your options. Like, those are things people should start talking to you about, like, way in advance. Even with just regular high school students, it's confusing. And I have a degree, multiple degrees. I work in a veteran center at a college, and I still had a hard time registering my child for school. So it's hard no matter what. Like, it's not just hard because you don't know. It's hard because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people don't realize that the VRC offers a lot of support for students who are attending other colleges. Like, our phone
Right.
have phone for students who are attending colleges in Savannah and even some in South Carolina.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not really so much to us about the school, and we'll tell them if it's not, we don't think this is the best place for you. Like, I'll tell you this probably isn't it, or, you know, maybe apply here and that other school. Because really, it's about the best interest of the student, not the best interest of the school.
And that's why the importance is partnering with local organizations so that they can also further relay the message that is needed.
Right. And then, I mean, it just makes sense to get a dialogue going with these large businesses like Gulfstream, you know, Boeing, even Tyco and Ridgeland, like these companies that these guys could matriculate into, especially with the certifications that we offer, and get jobs there. So, I mean, we're giving them good people, so in turn, it's nice for them to fund events for the veterans and fund activities or do workshops for them. Those things are, I feel like the relationship is important.
Exactly. And that's part of the strategies that are used to implement and get them going and to pursue a higher education or even transition from being an active duty military to civilian lifestyle.
Right.
Gulfstream is the perfect example of that. Also, I know in previous discussions, we even discussed Vantage Point.
Yeah, I think Vantage Point will be a really good idea because they are encompassing all the things we want at the end of, like, basically the rainbow that they're here for. So they start with us, they get through their classes, we're checking up on them, which is something we need to figure out. And then at the end, towards the end, then you send them to this Vantage Point event. So, I mean, that's amazing. 5 days, it's paid for by the organization, and you have veterans that have completed the rainbow and now come full circle and they're ready to help other people. So that's phenomenal. And then for them to be subject matters in that and know, because it's one thing to have a resume workshop, but if you've never seen a military, like, example of what they did, then it's hard to help them translate that to civilianese for them to apply to jobs.
And for most of them, they're in their 20s and 30s, and they're having this goes on because their only choice.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, we're making a video. I'm sorry.
How you doing?
Because our only choice was to primarily go into the military or college once we turned 18. And
Right.
so we just decided to go into the military because the perception is a lot of people think it's automatic pay. You have all these wonderful benefits like housing and get to travel around the world. And it's really more than that.
Right, and that's kind of like the whole point is that they start out with all these benefits, but they also it's almost to their detriment on some level because they learn all of these jobs, but then when they get out, the hiring managers just don't understand what it is that they did. They're not seeing it as actual experience for whatever reason, and until that changes, it's gonna be a thing.
And I know it's very frustrating because we live in Beaufort, South Carolina. We have 3 bases. And South Carolina is a small state, but we have a significant number of military bases in general.
Yes, and a very high veteran population.
A lot of people retire here. We have Bluffton, Hilton Head, Hampton, and all